Okay, so what are we going to? 45-year-old male coming to emergency department with sudden onset headache, nausea, vomiting. Sudden onset headache, nausea, vomiting. He is conscious but in distress. A CT scan shows SAH. Initial BP 180 by 100. So patient has a, what is the diagnosis?
SH.
Subarachnoid hemorrhage secondary to some berry
Maybe to aneurysm.
Yeah. So what are you going to do as the most appropriate initial step? You've already done a CT head. The blood pressure is 180 by 100. What is the best next step that you begin?
Labetalol.
Yeah. Labetalol. Yeah.
C is a correct answer.
Say again?
C is a correct answer. Intravenous nimodipine or oral nimodipine to prevent the vasospasm. Observe the GCS.
Yeah.
No need to intubate.
So the best step here will be nimodipine infusion.
Nimodipine.
Yeah. So you start nimodipine infusion because it will bring down the blood pressure as labetalol will do. But it will also keep the vessels open, which labetalol will not do. Labetalol will cause vasoconstriction. It is beta and alpha antagonist. So that is the problem, that when you are using labetalol in this patient, you should prefer using labetalol in cases of intracerebral hemorrhage. That is where it is indicated. But in case of nimodipine, you also have to prevent vasospasm from happening. That is why the difference between labetalol and nimodipine is, the answer is nimodipine. Okay. Next question. A 60-year-old female is admitted to the neurointensive care unit following a large ischemic stroke, left MCA infarct. On examination, she is found to have right-sided hemiplegia and global aphasia. Okay. Her respiratory rate is 25 per minute. She has mild respiratory distress. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? 60-year-old patient, large ischemic stroke involving the left sided hemiplegia, global aphasia. Her respiratory rate is 25. She has mild distress. She is conscious.
Admission for oxygen monitor.
So what we will do is, we will just monitor this patient. By giving oxygen therapy. So we will just give oxygen to this patient, and we will try to see if the patient
worsening in the worsening GCS.
Yeah, we will just monitor the GCS, and once the GCS falls below
8.
Okay. So 7, 8. Okay. So basically the memory, how you can remember it, less than 8 intubate. Okay. Less than 8 intubate. So this is very, very important that you have to do. Okay. So I'll discuss a little SAH with you. This is very, very important. Okay. So subarachnoid hemorrhage, let's come back to it. So the patient has SAH, the patient has 180 by 100 blood pressure. So it was irritating in my mind that I did not discuss it with you. Okay. So I'll just discuss a little bit. So what are the target BP? Target BP for SAH?
160 over 100.
So less than
140/90.
No,
Mhm.
no. 140/90 is for
That is
ICH.
IC bleed. That is IC bleed.
Yeah, so that is
Less than
this
160.
is why I
Less than
wanted to
160.
this is why I
Hmm.
wanted to discuss SAH and ICH with you guys. Okay, so again, target BP is SAH is 160 and below. Target GCS we just discussed, it is more than 8. So our patient should always remain GCS more than 8. The moment he is less than 8 or equal to 8, what will we do?
Intubate.
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 Okay. Then oxygen saturation should always be more than 94%.
94%.
These are the EDIC based targets that I am giving to you. Okay. So step number 1 in the management is to keep the BP low. How low? 160 and below.
Hmm.
What drug to use?
Nimodipine.
Nicardipine or nimodipine. Why not use labetalol? Because it can lead to sudden
Vasospasm.
precipitous fall. Okay. And also you need to give painkillers because this patient will be continuously having sympathetic overactivity because of lot of pain, headache. So need to give what PCM is approved, although you can use opioids if the patient is intubated. Yeah. So specifically, other things that you need to do is elevate the head by 30 degrees. This is also important. See, in EDIC, you will be asked these questions. Then mannitol, very important. Mannitol, diuretic, mannitol, decongestant of brain, very good drug. Yes. And you can rarely do a CSF drainage also. Why? Because there is blood in the butterfly. This will also lead to hydrocephalus. So put in the drain and take out some blood. External ventricular drain. Okay. So these are important things that I needed to tell you, that ultimately rest everything is surgery and all, clipping, coiling, blah, blah, blah. But nimodipine remains the static thing. Before clipping, after clipping. Remember that. Nimodipine should continue, and regular TCD monitoring, transcranial Doppler monitoring, is mandatory. Okay. For 72 hours to 120 hours, TCD is important. Okay. A 35-year-old female comes to acute onset right-sided weakness, slurred speech, acute history. Her medical history is significant for migraine. So she's just 35. She's diagnosed with an acute ischemic stroke. NIHS score is 5. So what is the following is the most appropriate answer? So this patient has migraine. History of migraine. She's just 35 and she has suffered an acute ischemic stroke with NIHSS score 5.
Thrombolysis.
Thrombolysis with LT, please.
Exactly. This patient has suffered an acute stroke and she immediately, we need to thrombolyze the patient because the score is 5.
More than 3 or 5.
Yeah. So 1 to 4, minor stroke. 5 to 15, moderate stroke. 16 to 20, moderate to severe. 21 to 42, severe stroke. So 0, 1 to 4, 5 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 42. No stroke symptoms. 1 to 4, minor stroke. 5 to 15, moderate or major stroke. 16 to 20, moderate to severe stroke, and 21 to 42 is severe stroke. So it is an essential tool, this NIHSS score. It determines what? It determines the stroke severity. Hence, if you have made the diagnosis, then you are going to thrombolyze this patient. So intravenous thrombolysis with LT plays. Next question. A 50-year-old man is admitted to ICU after severe traumatic brain injury. Initial GCS 5. Despite management, this patient ICP remains elevated at 30. What is the next management? So,
No,
severe
decompress
traumatic
craniotomy.
brain injury, ICP is elevated. I will prefer getting a
Decompress
decompressive
craniotomy.
craniotomy to be done. So,
Yes.
this doesn't need an explanation. ICP is elevated, traumatic stroke, brain is edematous. All you need to do is just lift over the
Yeah.
skull. Yeah. A 70-year-old male, history of atrial fibrillation, comes with acute confusion, right-sided weakness and aphasia. A non-contrast head CT shows the left-sided ICH. INR is 3.5. INR is 3.5 because most likely this patient will be on acetylene or warfarin for atrial fibrillation. What is the most appropriate next step in the management of this patient?
PCC.
Admission of prothomic constant complex.
Wonderful. So we have two types of PCC available: 3-factor PCC, 4-factor
And
PCC,
octoplex.
and of course octoplex. So the answer is
4-factor
PCC.
PCC. In
4
case
PCC.
you find this, okay.
Mm.
So administer prothrombin complex concentrate. Okay. Which factors are there in PCC? Tell me while I drink some water.
8, 13 factor 8, factor
What?
13 fibrogen.
So what?
That is cryo, I think.
Factor 2, 5, 2, 7, 8, 13, 9, 13,
9, 10.
10.
Same as warfarin.
Okay. So you remember?
1972.
Remember? Yeah. So you have to remember that it is only factor 7. See, that is why I asked you this question. I knew it that you will not know the answer. So the factor 7 is absent in 3-factor PCC. So that becomes 2, 9, and 10. And 4-factor PCC is 2, 7,
Factor 7. 9, 10.
So this is so important to remember. So acute major bleeding due to warfarin, we have to use this. And also you can use it in, now the beautiful thing is, if there is a question on hemophilia bleed, and the answer is 3-factor PCC and 4-factor PCC, what will be the answer? Hemophilia related bleed. Now, this is EDIC level question. Which
Factor 7.
Say again?
4-factor PCC.
4-factor.
So, why
3-factor,
4-factor PCC?
3-factor,
You will use
3-factor.
3-factor PCC. No,
3-factor,
you will leave 4-factor for somebody else.
1 milligram.
1
You get my
milligram.
point? Yeah, factor 9 is deficient. So all you need to do is give 3-factor PCC because it has 2, 9, 10, and you only need 9. You don't even need 2 and 10. So you can leave because these are not routine drugs which are available over the counter. Sometimes at the middle of the night, patient with vitamin K antagonist related bleed can come. He will need 4-factor PCC. Okay. Yeah. And nowadays, even for direct oral anticoagulant, the NOACs, they also can, the newer anticoagulants can also be used. This 4-factor PCC can be used.
Reversal for that.
Say again.
For NOACs also we are using nowadays this.
Yeah, nowadays
NOACs.
it is approved. Yes.
Approved for NOACs. Okay.
Yes. A 28-year-old male is admitted to the ICU with the diagnosis of GBS. Okay. He is rapidly progressing in weakness and is now unable to breathe. His vital capacity is dropping. Oh my God. You will have to act fast. What is the next best thing?
Intubate.
Immediately intubate this patient. And what else you can do?
And plasmapheresis.
Very good. So basically it is an antibody mediated damage. Antibody mediated damage. So the thing is, either you bind the antibody
Or IVG.
or you can stop the antibody,
Mm.
or you can remove the antibody. Bind the antibody is IVIG.
Mm.
Stop the antibody is rituximab.
Mm.
Remove the antibody is
Plasmapheresis.
plasmapheresis.
That's
Anybody having better answer? So you can use steroids also. That will also do the same job as rituximab does, but in a very less effective format.
okay.
Okay. Same will be the answer if the patient has myasthenia crisis. Okay.
Mm.
Intubate. And then these are the other possible options. Okay.
Okay.
So A, B, D can happen later. Immediately you need to intubate the patient. A 58-year-old woman is admitted to the ICU with massive SAH. On third day of admission, she becomes progressively less responsive. CT scan shows hydrocephalus. What is the most important appropriate
EVD.
management?
EVD.
Okay, very good.
EVD.
So we have already discussed that EVD can be
Mm.
put in these patients. Just a second. Hello. A 65-year-old male presents with severe headache, nausea, head and neck stiffness. CT scan shows ICH. BP is 190 by 110. Similar question, same answers. Give me the answer.
Labetalol.
Start.
So the drug of choice has changed. The answer is now
Labetalol.
labetalol. So now it is not B. Now it is A. Why? Because it is ICH. And what is the
ICH.
target BP here?
Less than 140/90. Like 140/90.
Wonderful. Now it is 140/90. In SAHSA, 160.
160/90.
Yes. A 40-year-old woman is in the ICU with diagnosis of status epilepticus, unresponsive to 2 drugs. So it is refractory status epilepticus. What is the next best step in managing her status epilepticus?
Intubate and initiate
Intubate and propofol
Yeah.
infusion.
So the diagnosis is refractory.
Refractory.
Okay. So intubate the patient, put on ventilation, and start propofol.
Propofol infusion.
What is super refractory?
Refractory to even general anesthetics like propofol, thiopentone.
Thiopentone,
So 3 drugs.
Yeah,
So
3
what
drugs.
will you do then?
So in super
Thiopentone
refractory,
coma.
we can go for ketamine also can be given, sir. Inhalational anesthetics
So
can be
then
given.
the answers are ketamine,
Ketamine, initial
phenobarbital,
anesthetic,
coma.
phenobarbital, coma.
Phenobarbital, coma.
Yes,
Okay. And of course, keto diet is also recommended.
right. Reducing diet.
Electroconvulsive therapy, plasma.
Yeah.
PT.
The last is electroconvulsive therapy. Unfortunately, this is banned in our country. I don't know about Europe. A 55-year-old male with history of chronic alcoholism presents with acute confusion. This is the most favorite question of headache. With acute confusion, ataxia, and ophthalmoplegia. ICU team suspects Wernicke's. What is the most critical first step?
Timing.
Okay, this patient also has hypoglycemia along with. Still, the answer will remain same.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thiamine.
Wonderful,
Thiamine.
very well said. So so IV thiamine is given in which IV fluid?
Like,
Sugar
dextrose.
Yeah.
Normal saline.
Saline.
So you give thiamine in normal saline and then give dextrose if the patient is hypoglycemic.
Yes.
Because if you give glucose
Mm.
or you give thiamine in glucose, this thiamine will go into utilization of this glucose that you have given. And again, the patient will remain encephalopathic. So first thing, give thiamine, prepare the body for entry of glucose. Only then you give. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So thiamine is to be given in saline, and later on you can consider giving glucose in such a patient. That's neurology, neurocritical care for you.
Thank you, sir.